According to the MLive article I link in the description, Detroit Lions have interest in recently released Seahawks cornerback Richard Sherman. We back, Motor City Sports Talk. And I did a video about this before Sherman got released, which is, we already knew he was getting released, about Seahawks getting rid of him and Earl Thomas. Obviously, Cam Chancellor is dealing with a career ender or potentially career ender neck injury. He's not involved in their trade of Michael Bennett, but I wasn't interested in it. Cornerback turning 30, coming off Achilles injury. I'm pretty sure he'll recover. I just believe the Lions don't need an expensive, liability coverage on Teez Tabor like that. Teez Tabor is expected to be the starter for the Lions this year, but of course you want to have a veteran backup, to kind of usher him in for that. And I just think Richard Sherman is too expensive for that. But if Sherman snaps back to, what he was, before the injury, obviously he was having a big year, and he fits Patricia's defense, then I can't be opposed to it, but I'm not for it. I just don't like what it would cost, especially when you have Green Bay, the Houston Texans, Tennessee Titans, the 49ers, the Oakland Raiders, all vying for, Richard Sherman. I mean, obviously Sherman wants to win now, and the 49ers are a ways away from that, even with Jimmy Garoppolo. But maybe he think he can improve the defense. He's had some history with the 49ers, way back when. Tennessee, they need a cornerback, but the book is still out on Mariota. Green Bay, obviously, a guy like him who like Charles Woodson, who was big like him, obviously made the switch to nickel and safety with Green Bay and revitalized his career. And why wouldn't he want to go play with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, where teams would be playing from behind and really having to throw the ball his way? He can get opportunity. The Raiders are, depends on how he views that team. Does he view that he can help that defense and they're going to be winners or not? But Oakland is a straight little area to live in, potentially Las Vegas. Where would the Lions fall into that? I think it's Matt Stafford a bust, Matt Patricia, and Matt Stafford a bust. It's Matt and Matt. Does he believe in what Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn are doing with the Lions? Does he like Matthew Stafford, which Matthew Stafford has burnt him before? I remember Titus Young caught a sweet over-the-head catch on Richard Sherman. He knows what Matthew Stafford is capable. And if the Lions go for him, it just shows you that the Lions, kind of repeating history or kind of being different as well. They always go for older players once they pass their prime. Richard Sherman is not quite past his prime, but he is injured. But they're going to take a risk and trying to inquire about a corner. They're going to try to put together a phenomenal secondary. Darius Slay on one side, Richard Sherman on the other side. Glover Quinn, who's an all-pro type of safety. I think he's one of the top 3 or 4 free safeties in the league. And if you could bring in Eric Reed, that secondary got better, and then you have to upgrade the front 7. Obviously, the back end, the front end, the back end work together. How would he fit in the defense? I think he'd feel good. I think Patricia is bringing that New England type of culture. New England had 2 good corners last year, and Gilmore and Malcolm Butler. Obviously, we know what happened with Malcolm Butler. He's a potential candidate to come to Detroit. They had, Revis and some, I forgot whoever else. They had some Revis before. They had Talib. They had Brandon Browner and Revis or something. They had at one point. They had, Ty Law and other good corners before. So New England is known for having good corners, at least 1 or 2. A lot when they really really good. They got 2 good top rated corners. So maybe Patricia is thinking about 2 corners, especially the 2 that can complement each other. You got Darius Slay, who's the fast, twitchy, super fast, athletic cornerback who's definitely on the rise, who's starting to get some interceptions. You got Richard Sherman, the long corner that's a ball hawk, that's in the mold of a Teez Tabor, who's Teez about 6'2", long arms. He's a phenomenal with the ball skills, but he's not as fast, but he's more predicated on technique. But like I said, I'm more of a guy that just want to bring a good veteran in, maybe E.J. Gaines, maybe a Malcolm Butler, a good mid-grade veteran. And I just want to see him, that mid-grade veteran, and Teez Tabor battle it out for the starting cornerback position. And if he doesn't win it, then it's another year of development or learning to play the nickel or spelling where he can. But if Richard Sherman is there, you are able to acquire him and keep him from Green Bay, I mean, shit, you got to do it right. And I definitely understand where they're coming from. You want to take the risk. And if you're able to get him, why not? I mean, especially you can add an all-pro corner with another potential all-pro corner with a potential all-pro safety. And you could bring in Eric Reed or let Quadre Diggs do his thing. I think that's deadly. That'd probably be the best secondary the Lions had since most of us was born or we can remember. So it makes sense, especially if they're going to, go, front seven dominant in free agency and in the draft. The Lions will instantly upgrade their defense, especially if they could check out Sherman and see if he's going to be healthy and everything else checks out with him. So I definitely can understand it, but I'm definitely not 100% for it. But I can understand where they're coming from. They're trying to be great. They're daring to be great. And if they put some pass rush with Sherman, Slay, and Glover Quinn, it's going to be tough to beat the Lions. It's going to be tough for anybody throwing them, especially if they get some pass rush. But we going.